friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I am bringing you episode 50 of Throwback Thursday. Now, I got this idea from my dear friend Jan Van. She is my TBT inspo and muse. I will link her channel in my description box. Make sure you go and subscribe to her channel and show her a ton of love and support. And of course, I gotta send a shout out to my dear friend and subscriber Dawn for being the best TBT cheerleader ever. Yeah. So in today's video, I'm gonna be using a palette that's new to me, but is not new on the market. This is the Fantasy Cosmetica Wizard palette. Now, I got this during the Black Friday sales, of course, last November. It's been sitting in my collection waiting for me to use it ever since. This shade came broken, but I just pressed it back in the pan. It's totally fine now. And I think I know what I want to do with this palette. I think I'm going to use this shade here called Telepathy. Hold on, let me get my glasses on. I don't know why I try to do this without my glasses. It's kind of a moot point now. Incantation. I want to use, I think, Graviturgy. So, I don't know. And Meteor Storm, and then I'm going to put Spellbook in my inner corners. I love putting a light matte in my inner corners, and I might even throw some Divination into this too. Conjuration's pretty, but I mean, I don't want to use all the shadows in this look necessarily. So I do have my brows done in the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel, and then I do have this eyelid primed in the Juvia's Place Prep Prime Eyeshadow Primer. I'm just going to start diving into this palette finally. Okay, so going into Telepathy first. All right. And I don't really know why it's taken me this long to use this palette other than I just had other stuff to do. Just other stuff to do. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about something. And I'd love to get your guys' take on it because I just love that, you know. I have so many amazing, awesome, thought-provoking subscribers here. So recently I watched a video where a creator was talking about makeup trends, and that quite commonly why makeup trends are done on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever is because the person who's doing the trend, or you know, carrying out the trend or carrying on the trend, you know, jumping on the trend bandwagon, is doing that because they want to like they're chasing views. You know, like they want people to come and view their content. So that's the reason why they're doing the trend, which, I mean, I don't agree with that. And I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that. But I can kind of see it maybe a little bit because I do think, like, you know, trends are popular for a reason because they're trends and people think, oh, that's cool. I want to see this person do this or that. Like, I'm trying to think of a trend. Like the reverse cat eye, that was a huge thing for a while. Is it still huge? I don't know. It could be. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Like, oh, the coffee look, whatever that was, like using this certain color of eyeshadow or latte. I don't know, something to that effect. I can't remember exactly what it was. And that could still be really popular too. Let's see, like the winged eyeliner was kind of a trend. I mean, maybe that's not a trend. That's kind of a technique, I would say, that a lot of people do. But do you not understand what I'm saying? Or like the ombre lip, or I don't know. I mean, it's not really a trend. Those are more techniques. But anyway, and I felt like this person was kind of putting down creators who are into trends, and I don't agree. I'm not really a trend person, because I don't know how to do the trends. I just don't know how to do them. And if I sat and tried, I could do it. But I don't know. If it looks like something that might be fun, then I like, well, the cut crease way that I do things, is that a trend? I don't know. But I think that a lot of times people do trends because it looks like it's going to be a fun thing to do. And of course, you know, there are people out here, viewers and whatnot, that want to watch the trend, sure. But I don't think there's anything wrong with being somebody, a creator here or TikTok or anywhere. This is a really nice pigmented shade, by the way. I'm loving it. It's a beautiful color. I don't really, do I have this color, exact color of blue in my collection? I probably do somewhere else, but this is really nice. It's really like rich and beautiful, kind of like a jewel-toned blue. It's lovely. What was I saying? I don't know. I'm just going to start over because I don't remember what I was saying. I think that trends, like I mentioned, are fun and they do draw a crowd. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you want to try something out that's popular here or on TikTok or Instagram, go for it. I'm gonna go into this shade now called Incantation and kind of blend the edge of that out. Really the bottom line for me is I don't think anyone's being forced to watch anything. I think we all as consumers, because you know, just because I have a channel doesn't mean I'm not a content consumer also, because I am, and I'm putting too much of this down, so I'm gonna have to go back and mess with that other shade a little bit too, but that's okay, because it starts to look very weird. Just trust the process, okay? Trust the process. I think that no one is, like I said, no one's being forced to watch anything. I think people choose to watch something or they don't. I don't like this brush. Hold on. I'm gonna use a more dense brush, this one. And depending on what the trend is, some people are not gonna watch it because they don't care about it. You know, like there are trends that I saw being done that I thought, that is ridiculous. I don't want to do it. I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to do that. And I can't be alone in that feeling. You know what I mean? So this is a very dusty shade. I don't know how I feel about this particular shade. I mean, it's okay. It's doing its job. It's blending out that edge, but it's also, it could just be my application too, because I'm just kind of slapping it on here. And it's not really like taking the edge of that shade down. It's just kind of covering the edge of the shade up, not exactly the way I want it to be covered up, but that's okay. I'm going to mess with it with the other color and fix it. Trust the process, like I said. So I think taking part in trends can sometimes have an adverse effect on the views and stuff, because some people are just like, I don't give a shit about the trend. I don't care about that kind of stuff, but other people do. And I think it's the mastery part of the trend that I think people are looking for. You know, if they're interested in the trend, they're like, oh, I want to learn how to do that because it looks like a really cool thing to do. And, you know, the thing about it is too, so I'm going to go back in with this brush now. The thing about it is that I know that I am not, like I just said, I'm not going to be able to do certain trends. I mean, yes, if I really put the effort in and I really tried, I probably could. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to do that. It's just, I don't know if it's my age or just my personality or what it is. I don't know. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to do fun things on your channel that you find fun, if you're a trend person, if you're a creator, or if you're a viewer. You might want to take part in watching the trend or recreating the trend that you're watching. I feel like I keep saying the word trend. It's very getting annoying. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if people want to gain popularity by taking on all these new trends, so what? Like, it's just, I think there's so much importance placed on things, and like trying to make somebody look bad if they do something that like the one person doesn't do, so they're going to make the other person try to look bad if they do it. And you know, like this big concept of chasing views and trying to be popular. It's like, who cares? If somebody wants to do all those things to be popular and to chase views, then okay. Like that, it's not that serious, I don't think. It's just a makeup trend, for crying out loud. So anyway, I just wanted to know what you guys think of certain trends, like you know, some of them I will say are very silly, I think. And that's why I don't do them, is because I just think they're silly personally. But that doesn't mean they're wrong or somebody's wrong for doing those types of things. I don't think at all. And you know, I think maybe a trend that I have taken part in here is doing the true crime stuff, which I was hoping that would help my channel grow. Sure, yeah. But of course, I am doing the work. You know, I am researching and reading the book and providing you with the content too. You know, and I take that pretty seriously, even though it's very amateurish. I do take it very seriously. So anyway, I'm just curious what you guys think of various trends here on this platform, and if you are the type of person that thinks that that's a negative, or are you like, oh, I love to watch the trends being carried out and they're really fun, and I'm also the type of person that will then go and try to carry out the trend. Like, I'd love to know what you guys, how you guys feel about that. I'm just basically going back and forth with these two colors, trying to get the blend right. And it's nothing wrong with the eyeshadows, although I do kind of feel like that light blue is a little bit on the maybe dusty side of things. It's just my skill set's not always great with blues because this is a little harder for me. But it's getting there. I'm liking it. This part right here is driving me nuts, so I'll probably go back and mess with that a little bit more. So for the shimmers, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna put all three of these on the lid. I'm gonna start off by putting this right here, and then this in the center, and then this towards the front. And then this, of course, is going in my inner corners. Did I say I love to put a light matte in my inner corners? I think I did. Okay, going into Divination first. And this shade was, like I said, was Shattered. And basically what I did was, I took some rubbing alcohol and spritzed it, and then took a, oh, this is the wrong, hold on, this is the wrong setting spray. I have some new stuff, but I don't want to use it yet until this is all the way used up. Took some setting spray, or not setting spray, rubbing alcohol, sorry, sprayed it in there. And then I took a quarter and just popped the quarter on top of that, and then pressed the quarter into the shadow. And then I just kind of let it sit for a minute, and then I just basically tipped the palette over and let the quarter fall out, and the shadow stayed just fine. I don't know that that was the exact right way to do things, but it worked, and it hasn't budged since then. And the shadow's beautiful, really nice. And it is a bummer when you get a palette and a shadow is broken, but I will say that, like, it was packaged really well. It wasn't because it was poorly packaged. It's just that eyeshadows can be very tender, and I think they get tossed around in the back of the, you know, various mail trucks that they're in. And I just don't always think that the mailmen are super gentle with things, which, you know, and so things can break. It's unfortunate, sure, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, I love that shade, it's gorgeous. So I think I'm just gonna keep using this brush. This is one of my e.l.f. brushes that I kind of forgot I had, and then when I was doing my brush collection video with Andy, I'm like, oh, I love that brush. So now I'm gonna go into Graviturgy. Never heard that word before in my life. It's interesting when an eyeshadow palette can teach you something. Okay, I'm gonna spray this. Okay, start right here. Yes, ooh, that is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is lovely. It's got this beautiful purple, and there's a little, it looks like a little bit of yellow too. I think the yellow shimmer in front of this is gonna look gorgeous next to this. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm just kind of taking the brush and feathering it over the top of the other shimmer, just a teeny tiny bit. And, you know, I got the Bard palette from Julie for my 50th birthday from this brand, and I was so impressed with it, and I thought I gotta get some more. And it took me a hot minute to figure out what other palettes I wanted to order from Fantasy Cosmetica. Hair on my face. Because I think all of their color stories are really cool. And I think the blue, purpley, yellow combo is just really fun. And I also got the Warlock palette. So, but like I said, it took me a while to figure out. I kept going back and forth, trying to decide which color stories I wanted and what, yeah. Because I could have gotten all the palettes. And actually, I'm gonna put this brush down, and I'm gonna use this small brush here to put the yellow shimmer on. This one here called Meteor Storm, just so it's a little bit more precise. The other brush is a little too big for this area of my lid. And this looks like it could potentially be a topper. And do I have my other scissors up here? This is, I need to trim this brush because it's getting a little frayed, but it's okay for now. I hope. Okay. This, oh, yes. Well, yeah, I mean, it could definitely be a topper, but it is opaque enough where it just stands alone just fine. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love that. I love having that peak of yellow towards the front. That is beautiful. I'm going to bring this up though, or out here, I mean, a little bit more, because I kind of have this weird ridge right there now from the blue matte, because I do that quite often. I've got to trim this brush. It's kind of got these wonky little hairs just going haywire here. Don't love it, but the brush size is great. Just need to give it a little haircut. I mean, I could declutter it, but I just love the size of this brush. I love this. Gosh, this is pretty. I don't know though how well, it'll probably be fine. I just am noticing as my eyes get more hooded, the older I get, that right here, unless the shimmer is like real opaque, it gets pretty dang creasy throughout the day. And I could use a different, more tacky primer, but you know, I have skin that's touching itself, so it's gonna unadhese the, unadhese the, I'm gonna go back into the purpley shimmer shade. It's gonna, you know, stick to each other. So I don't really know that the primer is the culprit. It's more just my foldy skin is the culprit, really. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is just take my finger and just mush these two together a little bit better right here. Yeah, that is so pretty. And then I'm gonna go back in with my finger into divination, and just plop this right here. And yeah, that's lovely. God, that's pretty. And I do want to go back into this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see the shifty stuff? That is so pretty. Put this here. And I think the light yellow matte is going to look so beautiful in my inner corners. Really nice. Okay, and then I'm basically done, but I do want to go back into telepathy, that dark blue matte, and just kind of take the edge down out here of the shimmer shade. I thought about putting the yellow matte around the blue, but I didn't want to make it turn green for this particular look. I mean, I can definitely do that down the road with this palette, but I just thought, nah, I don't want it to turn green, because you know, blue and yellow make green. And I didn't want it to turn green with the purple shimmer. I thought that would look a little too clashy. Sometimes clashy is great, and other times, okay, I think I'm pretty much done here. I do have a little bit of fallout, so I'm gonna go clean that up, do my other eye, apply the yellow matte in my inner corners, do the rest of my face, and I'll be back. So this, of course, is my finished look, and I just love how it turned out. I struggled a little bit with the blending. That was my own problem, not the palette's problem. But I think it turned out fine. And then I used all but one of the eyeshadows out of the palette today. So that was really fun. I said fun a few times, I think so. I'm going to say fun a few more times here in a little bit. Okay, let me show you everything I have on my face, and then I'll review the eyeshadow palette with you. Okay, no primer. So these base products are going to look a little oily, sweaty, greasy by the end of the day. It's my primer's right there too. Same powder that I've been using in every single video lately, forever. For my bronzer, I use the Ciate London Bamboo Bronzer in Palm Island. Love. And then for my blush, I grabbed the Moira Ombre Blush in Soft Berry. This is so pigmented, so I just use a little bit at a time and build her up. I learned my lesson the hard way with that one. The highlighter I have on my face is the Glam Light Pina Colada. I just love this. I think it's so beautiful and like soft but blingy at the same time. Upper lid liner, say it with me, the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Felt Tip Liner in black. Mascara, you can also say this with me too, the Maybelline New York Sky High. Love, love. And then on my lips, I used a liquid lipstick from Menagerie Cosmetics in Pink Pachyderm. Love Menagerie Cosmetics liquid lipstick formula. I don't know if this shade is right. I could not figure out what shade to use, so I just grabbed this, and I do like it. I think it looks really pretty. That is it, I'm pretty sure. I got the hair on me. Let's review the eyeshadow palette now, shall we? Wizard from Fantasy Cosmetica. Love it. Love it. I used Intellect on my lower lash lines. Is that right? Yeah, Intellect on my lower lash lines. I used Curiosity a little bit to blend out this shade around the outer part of the shade that this shade, I don't know. And then I blended out a little bit the Intellect shade with Incantation. Loved how that turned out. And then of course I put Spellbook in my inner corners. I am really loving putting a light matte shade in my inner corners. Jan Van taught me about that. And I don't know, I'm not doing it because like a shimmer adds texture. I don't care about that kind of stuff. But I do think it's very soft and unexpected is what I like about it. And plus it stays really well in my inner corners. Lots of times if I put a shimmer in my inner corners, by the end of the day, it's gone. The only shade I did not use was Conjuration. So that'll be coming, of course, too. I think this is a beautifully curated little palette here. And I do think, even though there's only 9 pans, you can do a lot of different things with it. I do think that this probably would be more suited as a topper, but I do think it worked really well. It's very opaque. I mean, it worked great. All the shimmers worked great. The only shade you saw me that I had a struggle with was Incantation and Telepathy together. And at first I thought this was like kind of too dusty, but it worked really well on my lower lash lines. I think I just had way too much on the brush when I went in initially, maybe the wrong brush configuration too, but going back and forth with these two, I was able to get it to blend the way I wanted it to. And I think the look turned out really nice. Love all 3 of these shimmers together. Super fun, beautiful outer packaging. I mean, I just think Fantasy Cosmetica is very ingenious in their color story choices, packaging. Really enjoy this brand. I would love to get all of their palettes, and I will be using the Warlock palette maybe next week's Throwback Thursday. They're new to me, but they're not new on the market. Now I want to address what I talked about at the very beginning, the trend situation. I feel that if you love the trends and you want to do all the trends on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, if you're a creator or just a makeup enthusiast, whatever, you go for it. If it's fun, you're having fun, your viewers are having fun, or followers, or however, whatever that means to you, then great. I really wish that this platform could get back to what I felt it was when I first started, which is having fun. It's become, in some cases, a very critical and judgmental space. And I am not good at the trends. So I don't do very many of them, like I was saying, the reverse cat eye or upside down eyeliner or whatever they're called. I mean, I don't know. There's tons of trends. I know I'm old, so I don't know them all. But I know that like it would make me too nervous to try to recreate so I just leave it to other people. But I really enjoy going and watching people try to conquer or be successful at certain trends here. Sure. And if you want to do the trends because it's popular and it's bringing more attention to you or your channel or platform, whatever you're on, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? If you're not hurting anybody, then go you. It's ultimately people's choices, whether or not they're going to go watch or subscribe or follow somebody if they're doing the trendy stuff. I just don't think, as a creator or makeup enthusiast, if you're wanting to do trends, don't listen to the negativity around it. As long as you're doing something that you enjoy, you're not hurting anybody, tune that stuff out and go you. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself, be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.